Incogni versus Optery. Which one is the best identity theft protection service? Relax. I did all the boring research for you, and there is a clear answer based on these core criteria: price and the scale and easiness of data removal. Got your attention? Good. Then watch to the end to find out which one takes home the belt and why. To make things easy for you, I left links in the description that'll take you straight to the provider's plans and pricing. Now, first we need to define what a company has to do to be considered one of the best identity theft protection service providers. Simply put, these services' core mission is to find out if your personal digital footprint appears in data broker databases. And then, if it does, they take the actions necessary for that data to be removed and then continuously monitor the situation to ensure the information doesn't resurface again on the same databases. Plus, throughout that whole process, they regularly update you on what was found and removed. Cool, so with that cleared up, let's move on to our Optery and Incogni review. When you compare what Incogni versus Optery offer, the first thing you'll notice is the number of data brokers they claim to cover. Optery says it tracks 640 plus, while Incogni lists 420 plus. So at first glance, it's easy to think, all right, Optery must be the better option, right? Well, not exactly. This is one of those claims that is technically true, but a bit misleading once you look closer. The real difference comes down to how each service handles automation. Incogni's 420 plus data brokers are fully automated. It's a true set it and forget it system where removal requests are sent and resent automatically in the background without any action from you. Optery, on the other hand, uses a more hybrid approach. While it covers more brokers overall, many of those require manual steps, like solving CAPTCHAs, clicking verification links, or confirming requests through email. And that kind of defeats the point, because the main value of a data removal service is convenience. If you still have to step in and do part of the work yourself, it's not really saving you much time. And now that you know the difference, it's worth checking out what Incogni actually offers. Just scan the QR code to go straight to pricing and plans. Since we already talked about how much input these services need from you, let's take a closer look at options for custom data removal, or as I like to call it, digital footprint removal. And spoiler alert, Optery might not come out on top here either. First, a quick clarification: when it comes to how to delete your data from internet using ITP services, there are two approaches: automated and custom requests. Automated removal focuses on two key things. First, it requires no effort from you. And second, it's not just a one-time thing. The service continuously checks to make sure your data doesn't resurface. Custom data removal works differently. It requires you to manually submit requests to specific websites or companies one by one. And it's also a one-time action, meaning the service doesn't continue to monitor those removals afterwards. Now, if we compare both providers without the marketing spin, it's pretty obvious Incogni offers more. With its unlimited plan, you can submit custom requests to over 2,000 additional sites. Optery, on the other hand, offers under 1,000. And to even reach that number, you need their most expensive unlimited plan, which is significantly more expensive than Incogni's unlimited option. So once we start digging deeper, Incogni seems like the winner across both categories: automation and coverage of custom removal requests. Plus, you can get a discounted Incogni plan through the link in the description. Another way to compare Incogni and Optery and figure out which is the best data broker removal service is by looking at their reporting. There's not much to unpack with Incogni. Even on the lower price standard plan, you get monthly reports. Optery, on the other hand, provides reports every 90 days, and only if you have one of their more expensive plans. If you choose a lower tier Optery plan, it will still do some of the work, just on a limited number of data brokers, and you'll be forced to basically trust it blindly. Considering all the issues surrounding internet privacy these days, it's only fair to ask how safe these services actually are. First off, neither Incogni or Optery have a history of data breaches, but they do operate differently. Starting with our Optery review here, they employ OpenAI to generate reports, analyze risks, and provide recommendations about your data exposure. While there's no evidence this is unsafe, it does introduce a third party into the process, which requires additional trust from you to decide to use Optery. So what about Incogni? There's no indication that it relies on third-party AI tools to handle your data. Based on how its process is described, your data appears to stay within its own system. And that raises the question, can that system be trusted? Considering Incogni was created by the same company as Surfshark, one of the leading and most trustworthy VPNs on the entire market, my answer would be yes. So if you happen to be a very privacy-sensitive person or simply prefer no third-party data processing, Incogni would be the better choice. So we've covered performance and capacity, and now it's time to look at the differences in pricing. Incogni only has paid plans, while Optery has a free plan, though I would call it more of a demo version than a fully functioning plan, because you only get access to some monitoring reports and an option to execute the removals manually. With Optery's free plan, you're not getting the main part of the ITP technology, automated removals. They want you to pay for that. Moving up to Optery's cheapest plan might seem like a better deal than Incogni's if you're purely looking at it through a monetary lens, but once you select it, you'll see that the majority of their service/coverage remains locked, and that this plan barely has half of their total list of auto removals. Meanwhile, Incogni doesn't do gatekeeping like that, giving you full access to all their automatic data removals right away, even with their cheapest plan. Optery really only makes sense as an ITP service if you go with one of their higher tier, more expensive plans, because that's the only way to get all the core features. However, if we compare the higher tiers of both providers, we notice Incogni's unlimited plan offers more features. Not only that, but Incogni's unlimited deal works out to be cheaper than Optery's ultimate plan, at least when you're looking at annual pricing for full access versions. As for other plans, Ogni offers standard and unlimited versions for up to 5 members named Family and Family Unlimited plans. With Optery, unfortunately, you won't find such an option. Whichever provider you do decide to go with, I suggest committing to a yearly term, which is the way you'll get a better deal. And if you follow the links in the description, you'll see that Incogni's deal is much more generous. To sum things up, although Optery's higher number of automatically monitored data brokers might lure you in at first, once you dig a bit deeper and start comparing what you actually get for the price, you'll see that Incogni's is clearly the better value for the money between these two options. That's it for me. Be sure to like and subscribe if you found this video helpful, and I'll see you in the next video.